Now the 80 is on the lift, and moment of truth, we will look underneath it. I already know from driving here, I drove like 50 kilometers to the shop. It drives a little bit funky, so there is for sure something on the front axle, I think. And now I change into the cameraman perspective.
My brother will hand over the camera in a second. So we got it on the lift. Now it means business because I got the safety slippers on. And yeah, what do you think we're gonna find?
Oh, I think there will be something on the front axle. We have lots of parts for the car already.
Yeah.
Like a pile of it.
Like a big...
But I will explain it when we change the camera view.
1 second.
Hey, so we changed. We have here this really nice 80 series. It's not a restoration, it's a rebuild. Rebuild, restoration. Yeah?
Party of the 80s.
We have another 82, but he's not here. The trunk is full of parts because the car is a really low kilometer car, like 210-ish, but it needs hoses, like everything that is rubber or plastic needs a replacement because age, right?
And we got pretty much every hose you can change.
Yeah, and we have pretty much every hose you can change. All the hose clamps and so on and so on. New suspension. If you look back there, you already see what kind of suspension it is. It's not the cheap one.
Far from it.
Also, we will lower the car because now it has like over 3 inches of lift. It's too much, it drives funky. And from experience, 2.5 is more than enough clearance for Europe. Drives good. We drive a lot of Autobahn. That's why the suspension. So back to the 80. Okay, now we look what actually is the problem on the car. I mean, when I first looked at the car and the owner was here to make a look through it, the wheel bearing on the left side was really, really loose. That is like 1500 kilometers ago or 2000. It drove really funky down here.
That got some play.
I think we have a problem. Probably it's the wheel bearings itself and also where the wheel bearings are running, like the axle, English words, you know, the axle stump. Yeah, I think there is a problem there because I really tightened the wheel bearing as it should be, but there is a problem. We see that. Let's get it on the lift. So let's check the other side. No problemo. And this side, big problemo. Yeah, wheel bearings are shot, that's for sure. Now, when we look underneath it, we see that thing doesn't have rust, or not much. I mean, nothing would be a lie, but
compared to something we are used to, that's like...
Compared to what we are used to, this thing is like brand new. We talk here about a little bit of rust on the oil pan, a little bit on the stabilizer and so on. That's not really a problem. That thing, as we see that pile here, will get new shocks, new springs, new bushings, new everything, yeah? Right, we will drop the axles on it. We will see the rear axle because my brother said, the guy behind the camera, we are leaking here. And yes, we are leaking really here.
Yeah.
By now, that wasn't the last time I looked at it, but the car was standing most of the time, and that's the problems when a car is not driven. But yeah, let's go back to the rust topic. In terms of rust, we see here where they normally rust nothing. In the rear, spots, yeah, right? The car is unwelded, which means nobody never welded anything because there was no hole. That's actually pretty rare on a Land Cruiser in Austria. And we want to keep it that way. That's why it gets plenty of cavity wax. The owner said he would like to have some shiny things. Everybody likes shiny things, and I think because we have to rebuild the axles for sure, at least the front one, the rear one, probably partly, but we will drop the axles and make a nice glossy black finish on it. So when you look under this Land Cruiser,
oh, chef's kiss.
Oh, sexy. That will be the direction we are going because little bit of paint doesn't cost much money, and also sandblasting 2 axles isn't that expensive. The reality of things is I did a 100 series like 2 or 3 weeks ago. or put it back together after a year of work. Probably we'll talk at some point about that car when it comes back from the painter. We put it back together, put the body on, and the thing was standing on an incline, and I was like standing 50 meters behind it. 15, and you saw the axles, everything was glossy, new bolts in it. That's just so sexy. This car deserves the same. And there is nothing like paint-wise. This car is really, really good. Like, you could say a survivor car. As far as I can tell, never really painted. I mean, I think the door jambs were at one part. I think scratches, something like that, because we enter car 2. And you know, city, scratches, people, always problems. But he wants to preserve the paint as it is, and I think that's a good idea. And we make everything on the technical side, so it drives nice, has power, nice suspension, get rid of the ugly rims. And now, because I'm curious, we look from underneath, on the end of the car where they normally rust totally through, on this car. Let's take a look. And what do we see? Nothing. When we look up at the rear quarter panels, we see completely original quarter panels with no rust, also not in the seams. That means the car is really, really good.
It's like finding a unicorn.
It's finding like a unicorn, pink one. Makes a lot less work, and also how it will look afterwards will be much, much better because the body is preserved originally. Then we have shiny things underneath it. We have shiny, shiny shocks. Oh, I'll show you the shocks. Next thing. So, let's open it. So,
New PP51.
there we have a shiny, shiny, nice shock. I mean, when we look at the old stuff and then we imagine that thing in it, super sexy. It will drive so nice and it will look so good. Yeah, already thrilled. And when we look on the frame on this car, everywhere cavity wax on it. So the frame is actually really spotless. I mean, we have some rust on it. Like I said, on the front stabilizer, because the parts are moving all the time and the cavity wax does at some point go off. But frame-wise and like here where the 80s normally rust completely away, there is nothing. Like nothing. Also on the front, there are 2 spots where they rust actually away, or actually 3. On the European ones, normally here they are through. On the front, yeah, there is nothing, not even point of rust, not even slightly, nothing, right? There is also nothing around here in the rear area, also not here where the batteries are. There is sometimes a hole here. There is nothing, not even like on the seams. And then the front actually, I mean, they have some spots like hood and things where they rust through, but on this car it's not even a question if there is rust because there is none. A80, I think it's 1 of 1,000. It is so good, and probably there are not much 80s left in Europe. I don't know, 1,500, 2,000 cars or so, and find one that is really so good like this one, that has not even like rust on the hood latches or anything. That thing is just purely a service or a bigger service, a maintenance thing. Go over it, replace everything. Rust is here not a concern, not at all. Normally rust is like the biggest thing on these cars, at least here. And you spend hours and hours of welding and getting everything right. But here, somebody really loved this car before. I mean, I would like to have it, but you can't have everything, right? When you look like an engine bay, the bolts, everything is still gold. No leaking of any fluids. The steering box, I mean the steering box, there is no sweating, no nothing. The only thing what is mostly a problem with these cars is like when we look at the springs, the thing is way too high. Yeah, right? If you want to drive, I probably could fit 35s easy on it, and if you don't off-road the out of it, probably even 37s, and it would not look wrong. What means it's too high. It's not a rock crawler. If you don't have to crawl these things, stop with like 34s, 35s, will be good. I mean, the front axle on these things are not bulletproof. It's the high pinion. We call it in German the Mädchenachse, what means the girl axle.
Yeah.
It was actually, I don't know what the idea behind it was, because probably Toyota thought, okay, it's a full-time 4x4, we can make the front smaller, but the better idea would have been to put the big axles of the 60s in and make something like that. And then you would have a bulletproof drivetrain. I mean, not bulletproof. No Land Cruiser has a bulletproof drivetrain. We can compare it to a 60. I mean, we take a measuring tool. The measuring tool will be this. It's a tiny thing. It's tiny. So, and now we look at a 61 with the big axle. Yeah, right. Has a difference, big one. And we ignore the spring-over axle lift, right? Big axle, small axle. I mean, Land Cruisers are not known for bulletproof axles. Nissan Petrols have bulletproof axles, especially the later ones with the H260 in the rear. That thing's a bulletproof. It is like Dana 60 territory. The rear is even bigger than a Dana 60 in terms of the H260 axle from Nissan. And Toyota axles are like a little bit bigger Dana 44s because the audience is mostly American. You know, Dana 44s are good axles. Yeah, far away from unbreakable. To break a Dana 60, it takes power or really big tires.
Or a dumb decision.
Or dumb decisions. So the next thing I want to show you is it will get a new radiator. We go with aluminum one because first of all, they last longer than the plastic stuff. And also because normally this part and this part of the radiator is plastic on 80 series. I think a complete aluminum radiator is the better decision because if something happens, you always can weld it. No big deal in the year 2026. Yeah, right, to weld aluminum. That's the only not original part we put in because the rest is everything original Toyota, fan clutch, hoses, hose clamps, blah, blah, blah. Everything is original because the original stuff lasted 30 years and probably this stuff will last the car to its end. I mean, we don't know what is in 30 years. I don't even work anymore in 30 years, so not my concern. That will it be. And also I'm thrilled about the PP51 suspension because from experience they drive really well. And also I drove a PP51 suspension in a stock 80 in terms of engine power. And this one will get some upgrades in terms of engine power. So I'm a little bit thrilled how the suspension handles, like if you drive a little bit faster and stuff. Let's say go-kart feeling, if you have a go-kart feeling with it, but we will see. If you enjoyed this episode, look also on the episode prior to this. There is lots of 80 stuff and I hope you enjoyed it. And we see us the next time.
Country song, playing George Strait all night long. Man, with no makeup on. Yeah, we took the long